All right, looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning. Looks like I started maybe a minute early, but give us 1 minute more talk time. How about that? Okay, looks like I am transmitting. Make sure you hit the like button for me. All right, and let me type that in there. Please hit the like. Bam. All right. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see who is here. Let's see, my friend Knife Collector. You are here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for being here. Here. Let's see who else is here. Good morning, Tara from Georgia. Good morning, Tara. Thank you for being here. Christina. Good morning, Christina. Thank you for being here. I've got my morning veggie juice ready. Oh, you juicing? Good for you. I am so proud of you. Good for you, Tara. Now, are you just juicing or are you going to use juicing as a meal replacement? What are you doing? But good for you. Awesome. Very, very, very happy for you. YouTube wouldn't let me in until it went live. Yeah, that's pretty normal. You could have chatted. I know Knife Collector was chatting with me prior to me going live. Got my okay, cool. All right, well, let me go back to my original. Um, I do everything from over here at StreamYard. So I'm gonna check on something real quick, and then we're gonna get started. Okay? Pull y'all out so y'all can see. Y'all see where I am. Our normal Saturday morning. They're off to a great start. So good morning to you whenever and wherever you're watching this. And good morning to the folks that are here live. I truly enjoy coming in every Saturday morning with you guys. And it's usually the faithful few that are here. All right, let's see here. The juice is my breakfast today. Tomato, carrot, celery, kale, and lemon. That's an interesting combination. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get started, y'all. Let's get started. I hope y'all forgive me if I put my hat on. It's a little chilly in here for me this morning, so I'm gonna put my hat on. Okay. I have a friend. He married a young lady in the Philippines. He used to hate when I wear these hats. This is all that. This is the only kind of hats I really wear. They keep my head warm, and I call them my thinking cap sometimes. So anyway, so we are reviewing The Colony season 1. We are up to episode 6, but we're gonna briefly review for those who have not been keeping up with us the episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So episode 1, we met everybody. We met Mike. He was the handyman. John C. is the IBM engineer. He's in his 50s. Morgan is the young black girl. She is 23, 24 years old. She's an engineer. She's an actual. We find out in this episode, she is a aerospace engineer. Okay. John B. He's machinist, and I call him our religious fanatic. George, who is the doctor. Allison, who is the ER nurse. Vladimir, who is the engineer, and then we find out in this episode a little bit more about Vladimir's story. Vladimir has been like a soldier in Croatia for like 30 years. Okay, and then we got Joey, who is the contractor / convict. Leilani, who is the martial artist and personal trainer, and Amy, who is always missing in action, our marine biologist. All right, so they put our volunteers through sleep deprivation. I believe it was 36 hours of sleep deprivation. They had 15 minutes to go loot. Marauders came in after 10 minutes. They had an 8-mile walk, and this is a 10-week long experiment. Keep this in your mind, okay? Anything after 21 days become habit. And when you're put in a situation, you feel that is your reality. No matter how much you tell yourself that this is just an experiment, this is only for play or whatever, your mind and the psychiatrist and keeps telling us that these people think this is their reality. Remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind. Their sanctuary is an 80,000 square foot warehouse sitting on 3 acres. All right, so bam, episode 2, we got power. We found out that Mike had a really bad attitude. They went on a scavenge run. They were dealing with marauders. They actually had a couple of weapons. They got the generator running. Let me see here. Notice how all of a sudden they started to, in episode 2, we found out they started talking about leaving the location, leaving the sanctuary. Mike had conflict against Morgan, and we found out that Mike could fail as many times at all of his projects, but he would go crazy if somebody else failed at their projects. So episode 3, they kept mentioning security. They built a shower. They spent too much. We all felt that they spent too much money. Too much time on the electricity bills. Let me see. Mike in the electricity bank, he was going crazy. He ended up turning off the electricity to Joy, even though he was in the middle of a bill. Y'all remember that? Joy pulled that huge water tank up to the top of the building by himself. Leilani started making toilet paper after that. Morgan started drawing on the walls and keeping a written document or a artwork of their journey, throughout the colony. All right, so at the end, marauders broke in and they stole 2 days worth of food. 2 days worth of food. I know Linda brought in and she said that a good shower doing SHTF will be a bug sprayer. Okay, y'all remember that? We talked about Food Forest that episode. We talked about Foxfire. It's a book series. And we talked about Farm City by Novella Carpenter. I think Tara actually mentioned that. And The Long Winter. It's a book by Chairman Mail. I think that's right. All right, so that brings us up to episode 4. Episode 4. The belief level of how real the situation is. They believe they're in this situation. They believe it's real. I keep reiterating that fact that these people believe that they are in a real life situation right now. They finally started taking security seriously. Joey actually he actually took charge of the security bill. Joey steps in as a foreman. Okay. John started making a flamethrower and a stun gun. Vlad started making claymore mines. Leilani built the gym. And then we took a vote as to who would win a fight, Leilani or Mike. And it was split down the middle. Half of us thought Leilani would win. Half of us thought Mike would win. Now, I don't know after this episode, after episode 5, I may have to switch my vote on that, okay? Because that's one thing we didn't get into last week because we had a different time and I was kind of off. But traders came in and traded goods. We had a blow up with Leilani and Mike, and they had the big truck build. And for the MVP of that episode, overwhelmingly, Joey got the MVP for episode 4. I don't think we took a vote last week. So episode 5, this is when Andre and Liz showed up. Andre and Liz. So let me ask you guys this, because I know we didn't talk about this last week. After seeing the sparring session between Leilani and Andre, who is a huge guy. I mean, this dude is like 6'4", 6'5", 200. He looks to be, on TV, he looks to be 250, 270, a solid muscle. Okay, I'm talking about a big dude. Did y'all see how Leilani dropped him? So the question I have for you now is, after seeing Leilani drop Andre the way she did, who would you guys choose in a fight now between Leilani and Mike? Who would y'all choose in a fight? I'm talking about a fight between Leilani and Mike. Let me see. The long winner was Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House on the Prairie. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that, Tara. I appreciate that. So the question I have for you guys right now is, who would win a fight after watching episode 5, the way Leilani dropped Andre? Who would win a fight between Leilani and Mike? Who do you think would win that fight? Okay. All right, let's go. Why do you still think Mike, Tara? Why do you think Mike? Now, that's interesting to me. Let me see. I would choose the one who can fight. No matter how big they are, you can take them down like a throat punch. Tara said, I think Andre let her. I don't know, because and of course we don't see everything because of editing. But I don't know about him letting her. Now, granted, it wasn't a real fight, but to see how agile and to see how powerful Leilani was, even though she was smaller. I'm still gonna take Mike in the fight though. I'm still gonna take Mike. So we're gonna do this vote again. So we got Mike versus Leilani in a fight, and we got 2 for Mike already. Okay. Anybody else want to vote a little different? Okay. Tara thinks that Andre let her. Knife Collector says sparring Leilani in an actual fight, then Mike. Okay. So, all right. Overwhelmingly, it's leaning toward Mike. I think so too. I mean, sparring and a fight is 2 different things. If it were the guy versus me, I would have been on high alert and taking him down quick. I don't play. Good for you, Christina. You shouldn't play. All right, so that brings us up to episode 6. Before we even get started, I want to know how many of you guys and ladies, when I say guys, I mean everybody. How many of you guys actually cried in this episode? Or how many of you found yourself so in depth in this episode that you almost cried? I'm gonna give you guys a chance to answer, and I'll be right back. That's crazy. They probably should have canceled. All right, so all right. I've only been in one, but it was clear. But I was the clear winner. That's beautiful. Yeah, I haven't been in too many fights in my life, but the ones I've been in, I did damage. If I get to the point where I have to put my hands on you, there's no turning back after that. Let's see here. Oh, I got so mad. Wait a minute. Are you talking about you got so mad in real life during a fight, or you got so mad during this episode? Not me. I took it as a script, not real life. Okay, Night Collector. That's a great way to be just rooted and grounded. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I watched it this time, because I'm really trying to watch the episode this time. And granted, I have seen this. Literally, I've watched these 2 episodes. I think this is like my 8th time. I'm watching it this time with a critical eye, but I'm also putting myself as a cast member, as a volunteer. I'm placing myself in here as a cast member and really trying to let my emotions get involved. Okay. It was a fight over my husband, then my boyfriend when I was 16. I try to avoid fights, but when it comes to him, I'm savage. Got mad during the episode. Made no sense that he was gone. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. And I've been playing this episode all week, and I've been trying my best to figure out how they got him out. And I think in order for them to get him out the way they did, I think he had to be a part of his exodus. Okay. I think that he knew that he was being removed from the show prior to. I think it was set up that they could go to the hospital. I mean, because it was all of a sudden, they built this medical clinic, which, that's my first point. The medical clinic bill. Okay. They built this medical clinic, and then all of a sudden, hey, we need more supplies. And I know throughout this experiment, they're going to be like, hey, we need you guys to do this. We need you guys to do that. We need you guys to, move further down the road, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And after me watching it several times, it was clear. It was very clear that he was in on it. Now, I don't know when they told him. I don't know if they told him up front, which they probably did. They probably came to him that week and be like, they called him when he was by himself and like, hey, look, we're going to remove you from the show, and we need you to lead everybody to the hospital, and that's where we're going to basically kidnap you. We're not going to tell anybody else, and do not tell anybody that this is going to happen. And I think that's what happened because it was a clear cut rule that nobody could be left by themselves. Nobody. So I think he took it a great opportunity to go down to the basement with Mike. He knew that Mike would get excited about finding the gasoline, and he knew that Mike would leave him to go upstairs. And they probably had like a side door that was locked at first, and then they probably unlocked it, took him in there, took him out out the back of the building or whatever, then got him out of there. And I mean, because you got to understand, in this production, they got cameras around, but after I mean, they've been doing this for like 30 something days. So after a certain period of time, you forget the cameras are even there, and this is real life to you. So for the other 9 volunteers, this was real for them, especially Leilani. When they came back and they reported what had happened, Leilani was like, "Look, if I was there, I would not have let anything happen. I wouldn't have left him. I wouldn't have come back, blah, blah." And she was dead set on going back. That's how you know that for these people, this is real life for them right now. Okay. And you also got to understand, after 30 something days of spending every 24 hours a day with people, you love them, even if you don't like them. Everybody in the group right now, and I want you, I'm gonna bring this out later on, but have you noticed how Mike's attitude toward the group and toward everybody else has changed? But we're gonna talk about that a little later. But I believe that George was part of his own kidnapping, because it happened too suddenly and happened too smoothly. It was like he just disappeared. So I thought it was good that they went back, especially for Leilani to go back and search, because they went back and searched again, which I can see how you would do something like that in that situation. Especially somebody who wasn't there. I'm surprised she didn't go out on that run anyway, because out of everybody, Leilani and Joy didn't go on the first run, and I thought that was kind of strange because out of everybody, those two, in my opinion, Leilani, Joy, Mike, Vladimir, those seem like those are the fighters. Okay. And I can understand why you would leave somebody some of those folks behind too, just in case you're attacked. I also thought about this. I was like, this would have been a perfect time for somebody to attack them. As soon as they came back and they found out that George was missing and gone, that was a perfect marauder attack right there. Okay, perfect timing. Which brought me to think about this. Throughout this whole entire episode, we didn't talk about security not one time. I saw so many times when their security was limited and down. And in this situation, you cannot afford at any time for your security to be lax. Okay. So when they went out foraging, of course, George became missing. OPSEC, operational security. You always got to be thinking about operational security. You can't, and not one time can you let your guard down. It's critical. All right, got mad during the episode. Made no sense that he was gone. Well, it was Christina. You got to understand, it's an experiment, and they're trying to see how these people are going to react. And a lot of them went through grief. They went through blame. I mean, and you can tell how real it was, because even at the hospital, Mike and Mike was like, "Oh my God," Mike took instant responsibility. He was like, "I shouldn't have left him." And when Vlad kept getting on him, Mike screamed louder at Vlad than I ever have heard him scream. And then when they get back to camp, Allison starts screaming at Leilani louder than I've ever heard her scream at anybody. Even louder than when she had that fight with Liz, she was screaming louder. So you could feel and you could hear the pure emotion that was in these people's body language and in their voices. So I'm looking at it now on the side over here. They're on day 32. After 32 days of being with somebody, and on the 31st day somebody comes up missing, that is going to affect you. Period. Even if they just took their stuff and left and not told anybody anything, you're like, what? Wow, we thought we was better than that. What the heck did we do? What happened? If you go out on a run and somebody disappears, or if somebody gets killed, oh my gosh, that is going to be terrible. All right, so they had individual interviews with each colonist on video. So they probably told George about this in private. Yeah, I agree with that, Terrell. And that's the perfect time because they're interviewing these people throughout the whole experiment. And yeah, I'm sure they told me like, okay, look, your time is up. You got to go. And we never know. He may have had a family emergency that pulled him off the show that he didn't know about, that he wasn't. I think they was gonna pull somebody off the show anyway. I don't know why they chose George. And if you notice, George seemed like even though out of everybody, Joey has skills, Mike has skills, John C has skills. I mean, everybody has skills, but out of everybody, it seemed like George was the leader. He seemed to be the one that could bring everybody together. And out of everybody, we never see George blow up. We never see him lose his cool. He's more of a politician in the group than anybody. And for a time that we was like leaning toward Leilani, we was like, oh yeah, Leilani is our leader. No, Leilani lost her cool, and we all agreed that it wasn't good, and it wasn't a good time for her to lose her cool when she lost her cool with Mike. Yeah, I remember that in episode 5 or episode 4. So out of everybody, I think we consistently, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I think we have consistently looked at George as our group's leader, as the one that everybody comes to, as the one that brings everybody together. So y'all let me know if you agree with that. I think George going missing will be a huge blow to their morale because everyone liked him. Yes. And he was the one who was always calm and level headed. Yeah, I agree with you. That's exactly what we're talking about. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about operational security. Let's talk about OPSEC. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about this episode as far as their security is concerned? George would be voted mayor in a real life. As I agree. I mean, he would be the one I would want to lead. If I was part of this group right here, I would definitely vote George the leader because he's the most level-headed. You can't use John C. John C. He's too smart. You need him in the shop all the time, just thinking about different things. You can't do Mike. Mike's too temperamental. You can't let Joey do it. Joey's a hothead. Leilani's a hothead. Allison has become a hothead, but she's a pretty girl. She's not gonna go to dupes with you unless she's provoked. Amy, was she even in this episode? Where the heck was Amy? Amy's always missing. To me, Amy is always missing in action. I don't know where Amy is. And then who else we have? John V. He hangs around with Mike too much. So out of everybody, yes, my leader of the group would have been George. Now what? Okay, let's take that vote right now. Let's take leader of the group, and I'm talking about before missing George. Leader of the group. Who would you guys have voted if you had to have a leader of the group? Somebody who's going to speak for the group all the time. Somebody who's going to go out and negotiate things. Who would you guys choose prior to missing George? Who would you guys have chosen? And vote now, please. And while you guys are voting, I'm gonna go check and make sure we're doing all right on this side. Okay. All right, so George will be voted mayor. Okay, I don't have any votes yet. Let's see here. Okay, Tara says before George him. All right, so we got one for George and one for Joey. All right, Knife Collector, why would you choose Joey as the leader of the group? Okay, so I got one vote for George, one vote for Joey as far as the leader. Why, Knife Collector, why did you choose Joey? And if you choose George, I want you guys to explain to me why you chose George. Or if you choose somebody else, explain to me why you choose somebody else. Why, whatever your vote is, whatever you cast your vote, explain to me why. Okay? Please. Because see, I want us to not only vote, but I want I want everybody to explain why, because um, that's important. That's important. I want to know how you guys think and how you think these folks should be thinking. All right, so Tara says now that George is gone, definitely Joy. He's got street smarts and he's not afraid to step up, and the colonists listen to him. I agree. George was too timid, I think, as far as standing to people inside and out. Okay, that's a great point. That's a really great point. Okay. So what about this? What would you guys agree? Hey, good morning, RG Homestead. Guys, all in the chat today. All right, so would you guys agree with this? What if we had Joy in charge and then yeah, Joy in charge and then we had George as second in command. Like everybody went to George and then George goes to Joy. I think that dynamic would have worked. What do you guys think? All right, let's move on. Nobody said anything about Operation Security. How do you guys think they handled security during all these bills? And we don't get to see, because we know after Andre and Liz left, after they put them out, we know for a fact that they had heightened security. So they probably have the warehouse shut down now to the point where people can't get in. But I'm just saying, we don't get a chance to see anything as far as security. Saw a couple things they should not have done as far as security was concerned. Like what, Night Collector? Because I saw some things too, and I'm like, yeah, y'all probably should have done that. Okay, for example, when they went out for the second time to go search for George, I don't think that was wise as far as security. I can understand why they did it, but I don't think that was wise as far as security is concerned, because if I'm casing your place and I see a group go out, and then 30 minutes later I see another group go out again, and that group is either the same size or larger, I'm like, you're vulnerable. This is a perfect time, and I know for a fact y'all was gone like 4 or 5 hours the first time. You're gonna be gone at least an hour and a half. We have some time that we can roll up on y'all and get you. I didn't post a watch. They didn't. Okay, that's a good one, Terry. They didn't post a watch at the hospital. True, they didn't. However, with their rule of not leaving anybody, they had 5 people. That's a group of 3. That's a group of 2. And I agree. They could have posted 2 people, as watch. I agree with that. Let's see here. Don't advertise to the world your location. Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet, and I agree with you. When they were at the hospital, they didn't have a read guard to watch. True. They should have had someone watching for others coming in rather than having everyone exploring. I agree. I watched them when I was in the hospital. I'm like, what are you guys doing? It doesn't take all those people to search the hospital. They could have had Vlad. They could have had Vlad, Allison, and George go in and search the hospital. Could have left Mike, and who else was with them? John V. Could have left Mike and John V on watch. And I agree with you totally. I mean, because they would have found everything they found, and it's very possible nobody would have come up missing. Okay, very possible. All right, so good job, guys. Okay, so communications, and I I have mixed emotions about these communications. 30 days after a major event like this. Now let's walk down this road. We're 32 days after a major event that has taken 90% of the planet. Okay, taking out 90% of the planet. And for me, this is some I Am Legend stuff right here, where they start broadcasting and all this kind of stuff. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. Do y'all remember in World War Z, where it was one guy, they had like a council of 12 people, and if something ever happened, they had one person that was supposed to just think the opposite and just talk about the opposite or be the negative Nancy in the group. I thought about that in this episode, and I think that would be wise to have that in a group post-apocalypse. And I'm going to tell you why. If you had somebody who was the negative Nancy, who was always being like, no, 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 and they expressed their opinion, I think they would have had to think twice, 3 times, and 4 times about going out the second time looking for George. Because I think, especially as security, I think that was a really bad move. And plus, they went out to go search for somebody. They didn't go out to get more supplies. They didn't go out to. I mean, because while they were out, they could have taken a different route. Um, because you never know. I mean, if you are looking for somebody, and we don't know if they went the same route or not. I'm assuming they did, which I'm pretty sure they did because they were all emotion. They wanted to take the most direct route there in search. But if you're gonna do that, if you were gonna do that, I believe they should have gone a different route, and they should have searched perimeter and then come back in and then search the hospital and then gotten out of there. And they should have been beating feet. I'm talking about they should have been humping, like getting in and getting out. My opinion. Okay. How do you guys feel about that? What do you guys feel about that? Okay, you guys are not chatting that much there. Okay, no problem. All right, so they communication. They built this huge SOS sign, and they claimed they was doing it so George could find his way back home. If George didn't know how to get back home after just leaving the colony, I'm not sure that was the best. Because for me, that's not going to attract George. That's going to attract everybody and everybody else. So that's why I think a lot of this right now, especially in this episode, I think a lot of the production in this episode is really driven the by the show's creators, the editors, and the directors of the show. Okay, because if you've been attacked a couple times, why would you put up this huge sign saying SOS? Okay, I'm just saying that. And then as far as the radio transmission, I thought the radio transmission was amazing. I'm talking about from an engineering perspective and background. I was like, I didn't know that you can do that. Okay, I didn't know how. First time I watched it, I was like, man, I am so amazed at this. I didn't know that was possible. Well, I knew it was possible. I didn't know the first thing how to do it, and still don't. After watching the episode several times, I still don't know how to make a radio transmitter. Do not. And then Morgan goes down and she makes a doggone receiver. I'm like, these people are super freaking smart. I think the people are trying too hard to show off their skills. I can agree with that, Night Collector. I don't believe they should have gone back for George, but I can totally understand why they did. When people make decisions based on emotion, it's usually the wrong decision. I agree with you totally, Tara. I'm so happy to see Morgan finally using her engineering skills. Me too. I was really impressed with all the engineers on this one. Even with Vlad trying to make the fireworks that didn't never work. I was very impressed. I mean, you got some smart people on this show. You got some smart people. I would have never thought about making a fuse that way, the way he did it. I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have known the first thing about doing that. I was like, that's pretty amazing. Even with the truck bill, Joy is putting. I'm watching now. Joy is putting a water tank on this truck, and it's another thing too. They've pretty much been given everything they need in this factory, in this warehouse. Because I'm looking at this water tank right here. This is a brand spanking new water tank, and it's probably a 75-gallon tank. I mean, this thing is huge. This is an industrial size tank I'm looking at. So I mean, if a group of us had sanctuary like they have and had a warehouse like this, and apparently they have an unlimited amount of lumber, with the skills I have and the skills that Night Collector has and Tara and who else is on here? Let me see who else is on with us. RG Homestead and Christina. With the skills that the 4 or 5 of us have together, we'd be able to do this too. We might not be able to do it as fast, but we'd be able to build stuff like this. Okay? Might not be able to do it as fast. I probably would have thought of a gasifier. I never would have thought of that. But one of you guys might have been like, hey, you know what? We got an unlimited amount of wood out here. Let's build a gasifier. Okay, cool. That's right. I would have thought about daisy chaining those batteries together. I knew they wouldn't have lasted forever. I don't know if I would have been able to figure out the alternator to charge it, but I'm sure over a period of time, all of us thinking together probably would have. So I think a lot after getting into the season, about halfway in, I think these people were handpicked, because of their skills. I'm not sure if they were handpicked because of their temperaments, but I think a lot of them are handpicked because of their skills. Simply because these people are doing some amazing, amazing things in this factory. Okay, but My whole point is they got everything they need. They're not having to go out and forge a water tank. The water tank obviously is right there, and it's brand spanking new. It's not like they had to pull it off of. Cause see, I think a factory like this, I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to use a water tank, they probably got them, all throughout the warehouse. We're gonna have to go and cut the water tank out, remove it, drain it, all that kind of stuff. These water tanks that I'm looking at, well, that one right there, that one definitely was brand new. Now I'm pretty sure that was not the one I saw him pull up on top of the roof. So that's at least two water tanks that are in this factory. Do you guys agree or disagree? All right, I don't believe it should have gone. Okay, I think that people showing off. I was so happy to see Morgan. Yep, they took it easy on the colonists by giving them all the stuff, even in an abandoned warehouse. You really like? Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't be likely to find that. Not even in a warehouse. Nah, it would have been looted and cleaned out by now. I would have built a windmill for an alternate. I thought about that too. I really thought about that. Yep. I would have built a gravity fed water system to bring water from the river. Yeah, we talked. I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, and I think that's one thing that they're lacking with all of their thinking. Y'all know me. I'm water, 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 and yeah, I think they could have made some kind of like a seesaw bucket system where it'll fill up, and then you got one on one side, one on the other side, and then as it fills up, it tumbles, and it obviously got enough piping. They could have piped the water from the river, and gravity would have fed it all the way to the factory. I agree, Terry. Totally agree. Um, so anyway, what do you guys feel about these signs? The signs, the radio transmission and receiving, and the fireworks. I like the radio. I like the transmission and receiving of the radio. The sign I can do without. The fireworks definitely can do without, because if you can use gunpowder to make fireworks, then you could figure out a way to use gunpowder another way. I think that was a way. That's a waste of resource, and I'm thinking that you're giving up your location. You already got a target on your back because the thing says sanctuary, and now you're gonna put this huge sign up that everybody can see for miles around, and then you're gonna try to shoot off fireworks. I thought it was a waste of time and energy. Just my opinion. Okay, Night Collector says big mistake. Let people know where you are. I agree. Even if they had to go once a day and manually pour water into the system, it would have used less energy than carrying back to the warehouse each time. I agree with you, Tara. I totally agree with you. Um, and even if you're planning on not being there long term, which apparently they're not planning on being there long term, I still think that was worth the risk of going out building it. I mean, because they're really close to the water, and maybe they feel like because they're so close to the water that they can make a trip every day. Maybe so. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I think they do a bunch of things to waste time. But you also got to understand this is a TV show, and I think they're being manipulated. That's probably not the right word. I think they're being guided in certain directions that the show producers want them to go. Okay, but it's a great learning experience for all of us. If it were real life, they could build a simple shotgun and use the shells for defense or hunting. I agree, Night Collector. I thought about that today. I was like, man, they found shotgun shells. They could easily build something with a trigger and a firing pin, and wow, you got things that you can use in defense. I totally agree with you. Okay, let's see what Tara says. They want George back so bad that they risk the entire college security. Yeah, and every time they was doing something, they was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this so we can get George back. We're doing this so for George." But in an event like this, you've got to, and I hate to say it, but life has got to move on. Life has got to go on, and people are going to die. People are going to disappear. People are going to get injured. People are going to get hurt in post-apocalypse. I mean, think about it. We die, we get injured, we get hurt now. And it's not as dangerous as it is, doing an SHTF event or doing a grid down event or whatever. It happens now. So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, it could be just as simple. I mean, and it was just as simple as them going into that warehouse and not having any light and not knowing the hospital, and somebody falling down the stairs and breaking a leg or breaking an arm. I mean, it's that simple. Or hell, I we went to Busch Gardens last Sunday, and it was a crowd of people. So I was noticing the crowd because when I'm in a crowd, I'm always watching people. I didn't see the curve, and I stepped wrong on the curve. And had I not caught myself, I got my balance. Had I been more clumsy, or had I not caught myself, I saw myself face planting on that curve. And if I had hit my mouth, I would have lost all of my teeth. And I was like, man, that was dangerous. Wow, just walking, not paying attention where you're going, not watching your step, just walking and trip, bam, and something happens. My husband and I have even talked about what we would zombie. I told him, no question, kill me. Don't let me hurt him or the kids. But he said he wouldn't. So Jennifer and I talk about that all the time. If it gets to the point where we have to expire one another, life has to go on. That's a great point, Tara. Life has to go on. And in a situation like this, you have to love people, but you have to love people enough that not only do you respect their wishes, but I mean, it's like in The Walking Dead. I remember was it Herschel? Herschel was keeping people in his barn. I think that's what happened when they first met Herschel. Herschel was keeping, well, they weren't people anymore, it was zombies. And I think it was Carol's daughter. They had found her. She had turned into a zombie. And, I think she ended up, anyway, I think they ended up putting them all down. Obviously, we were kidding around, but it was basically a discussion about our own operation security in a bad situation. And that's true, yeah. And a lot of times, Jennifer and I, we'll talk like, hey, look, from where you are, you got 3 days to get home. And human nature is, okay, after 3 days, you're still hoping. But day 4, day 5, even if that person is still alive, they obviously can't get to you. Either they're hurt, they're injured, or they're held up somewhere else, or they're dead. I mean, it just is what it is. If something was to happen right now, I know for a fact that where I am right now, I can walk to my house, and I can get there by tonight. It's 10 a.m. right now. I can walk to my house and get there probably like 4. I'm not that far away. I'm probably like 7 miles away from my house. And you figure if you're humping, and when I say humping, that means walking real fast, because when we say hump, we put our sea bags or we put our backpacks on and we're moving. Even humping and being in probably not the best shape of my life right now, I could probably get a mile in every 12 to 15 minutes humping. So you figure I should be home in less than 3 hours. And the same thing with my wife, Even where she works, she should be able to get home in 2 days. And the same thing for me, because a lot of times I got to work out there where she is. A lot of times I got to work on the other side. And after 2 to 3 days, you should be there. Okay. If we didn't have kids, I would go after him in that situation. But having kids, I would have to stay with him. It would destroy me inside, though. I know my husband would bring the kids with him to go find me, and then I would yell at him for putting them in danger when he found me. Laugh out loud. They broke the rule that no one was to split up. Number 1. If you don't follow rules and something happens in war or a situation like this, there is no plan B. True. I mean, and there's, I think we talked about yesterday in our drive time, there has to be a clear cut of chain of command. And especially in this right here, you can't break the rules. It's impossible to break the rules because once you, like Michael said, once you break the rules, everything is out. It's just like when they put Andre and Liz and they started putting colony rules together. I think that was amazing. Those are things that you should have in place now, because once it happens, it's too late. Once it happens, too late. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, so we talked a lot about security. Okay, so we talked about in every situation there has to be somebody whose job is to be opposite. What do you guys feel and think about that? What do you think about having one or even two people in a group this size with 10 people? I think you should have two people like, look, Mike, since he seems to be the most negative anyway. Mike and John C. I want you two, no matter what decisions we come up with, I want you two to come together and talk about the total opposite, the worst case scenario out of this situation, and then bring that to the group, especially with major things like this. The emotional decision to go back and search for George, someone should have spoke up and be like, hey, and I think it should have been John V. John V made the call to leave the hospital the first time. I think it should have been John V's decision to be like, look, guys, we already looked. And I know how you feel because I feel the same way. I made that call and we have searched every inch of that hospital. We cannot afford to let anybody else go out. And that's just the bottom line. And then they live with that decision because somebody has to be an adult in this situation. All right. The rules of Top Gun exist for your safety and that of your crew. They are not flexible, nor am I. Always good to see different perspectives, even if it's wrong. There's a chance that something good can come out of the discussion. I agree. That's like even on this channel right here, I've had people that came, that have come in and was like, hey, blah 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 and such and such and such. And sometimes the group is like all over that person. I'm like, hey, look, I appreciate you for coming in with your perspective. And then later on, I'll think about it. I'm like, maybe we do talk about the inner days too much. Maybe we do, and I'll think about it. I'm like, well, maybe we should talk about butterflies and snow bunnies and all that kind of stuff. Then I think about it, I'm like, it's not the purpose of this channel. The purpose of this channel is to help the average person. Okay. And this is the way I feel about plant-based homestead prepper. If we can help the average person take an average person from not having any preps to having 3 days of food and 3 days of water, or take the average prepper from having 3 days of food and 3 days of water to 7 days in food, 7 days of water, that's a family. Those are people that we don't have to compete with for those 3 to 7 days. All right. Hey, Michaela, how are you? It's a prepper channel. It's not Tea Party. I agree, Tara, and that's why I'm like, hey, we're gonna constantly talk about things that could happen. And I try to give us a variety. We talk about Christmas. I've been talking about the impeachment this week, which it made some people mad this week that I talked about the impeachment. I was like, and I do want to talk to you guys about that because we have had a family member that looks like they've left us because I haven't seen them in the last couple of days since they had their blow up, and I kind of checked them. In the military, there's a CO and an XO. There should be the same here, but they act like no one is in charge. That's true. Yeah, and when you have a clear cut of just people ruling themselves, you're always gonna have silly stuff like this that happens. Always. I mean, because to me, that was silly of them to go back out and look for George. That was silly. For me, it was silly of them to start making fireworks for George. It was silly. The SOS sign, I wouldn't have done it. I can understand why they did it, but I wouldn't have done it because you're in this situation. You're on your own. You can't expect government to come help you. You can't expect other people to help you. Now, if you want to make the sanctuary a sanctuary where you're accepting people in, and they have to qualify, it's like matter of fact, George said it when Andre and Leah showed up. He's like, "Hey, they're trying out for the team." And so far, they haven't made it. And I think we should take something like that in consideration for our own preps and for our own houses and compounds or sanctuaries or bug out locations. Are you going to take new people in? And if so, what's the requirements? What do they have to? What requirements do they have to meet in order to be welcomed open arms into the gates? And then after that, I'm still suspect of you because I don't know you. It's just like when Joy, Vlad, Leilani, and Amy first showed up at the compound, they were skeptical of them so much to the point where John V and what's the guy, Mike, were going through their things. Y'all remember that? I mean, that was like episode one. Mike was like, "Hey, go check out their bags." And then Joey was like, "Hey, what are you doing? That looks like stealing to me." He's like, "We got to check you out." He's like, "No, you can do that, open in front of us." So, yeah, anyway, they really need to have a consequences set up for people who disobey the rules. They should vote a leader, make a rules list, and then take away privileges for breaking them, such as take away the next shower, lower rations. Let me ask you this: do you guys think that Mike should have been punished in some kind of way for basically losing George? And while you guys answer, I'm gonna go check on my people. All right, y'all. I am back. Oh, I think losing George was punishment enough in the situation. Mike was clearly messed up over it, but still he broke a rule. You know, that is why scouts train in camouflage, hiding, tracking, ambushing, etc., who can go out and recon certain areas and look for people and resources. Thought about that too. I was like, who is the person who would probably be most stealthy and could go out and handle themselves and come back and be able to do stuff like that? And I think Vladimir is the person. I think he should be the scout, and I think he should take himself and John V. Because out of everybody else, I think John V is the next who can learn that skill. I agree with that, and I thought about that too. I was like, man, these folks need some kind of scouting system where they can go out and find different people. They need it. So you can see how guilty he feels. True. Joey and Vlad, yeah, I wouldn't want, because Joey is so valuable and because Vlad is so valuable, I wouldn't want them to. I wouldn't want to lose Joey and Vlad at the same time. Wouldn't want to lose Vlad and John C at the same time. Wouldn't want to lose Leilani or Vlad, or Leilani and Joey. I wouldn't put two people together, sending them out. That would really hurt the group and affect the group in a major negative way. Joy is the most street smart, so I think he could be stealthy and survive better than anyone. Yeah, but he's still a hothead. And I don't know if he gets in a situation like that, if he's going to be able to get back. I think Vladimir, because of his experience, if I was going to send out 1 to 2 people that were going to just go scout the area, I think I would choose Vlad. So you guys make your vote. If you were going to choose a scout or a team of scouts, okay, who would you send out? I got Vlad on this one. I know I got somebody's going to say Joey, and then we'll take a vote right now. I would lose Leilani if I had to choose one of those. She's a hothead and hasn't shown too many skills yet, other than just comeback knowledge. Okay, so she votes Joey. All right. But then if you lose Joy, now if you send Joy out and then you lose Joy, now you lose the truck build. You know, scouts are an asset, but they are also expendable in real life. So who can do the job and not just be a big loss? That's what I was saying. Like Vladimir is smart and he does things, but Vlad comes up with things that are really not that important. But I think he has the skills to go out and be a scout. John C, you definitely couldn't send him out. He's too technical. He needs to be in the shop. Mike, you need him too much. Joy, you need him too much. Okay, so Night Collector says Vlad. All right, we got 2 votes for Vlad, 1 vote for Joey. Anybody else care to weigh in? If we were going to send a scout out, because I think if you're going to send anybody out to go look for George, you should have sent the scout. Okay, but in that situation, I think Vladimir was too emotional to go out. I'm just saying. So I don't know. So we'll see. I have to sneeze, y'all. Hold on. Whew. I honestly think Joey is the only one who could do it and come back. Vlad is kind of clumsy, smart but clumsy. Okay. That's your vote. Thank you, Michaela. Whew. Goodness. Leilani would be second choice because she might come back and she's less vulnerable than Joey, less valuable than Joey. The scout with the homemade shotgun. Knife collector, you are on it. All right, so I got 2 votes for Vlad, 1 vote for Joey. Does anybody else want to weigh in on Scout? Anybody else? All right. Give you guys a second to vote on that. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up and see if there are any more chats. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see here. I think we talked about everything on my cheat sheet as far as and is Christina, are you still here or did you leave? They are getting loud. Y'all hold on a second. Y'all hold on a second. Let me go. We got to check out see this here. They getting mighty loud. Just good. I don't know. I don't watch it. Okay, Michaela, no problem. Well, I appreciate you for being honest. I appreciate you for being here. We do this every Saturday morning, by the way. We are in the middle of the Colony Season 1. And this week we're going to be episode 7. There are only 10 episodes in this season. So I've been I know for a fact this is what we're going to do. Once we get past season 1, we're going to do probably 2 weeks, okay? Because I think it's going to take us 2 weeks to really get through it of American Blackout, okay? I'd appreciate you if you guys, if you want to watch it, go ahead. But if you watch it now, I want you to definitely watch it as we watch it as a group, so you can be ready for the discussion that following Saturday. But once we get finished with the Colony Season 1, we're going to do American Blackout, and we're probably going to do 2 weeks. Listen to that, 2 weeks of American Blackout. Watch it one time. We're going to discuss about like the first half, and then watch it again the following week, and then we're going to discuss like the second half of it. And then after that, we will go to the next one. All right, so let's see here. My own home OPSEC was tested the other day. Doorbell, looked outside, didn't recognize the mail. Suddenly, they used the key to try to get in unannounced. I slammed the door on him and locked it back and grabbed my gun off the shelf and shouted, "Who is it?" It was my apartment maintenance. I chewed him out for coming in without announcing. He was told, wait a minute, who he was told and told him I could have shot you. I think he learned his lesson. Okay. The transmitter. They could have found parts like the capacitor and transistor and items used in electronic motors, battery chargers, and other items. They did not need to be handmade. I was thinking about that too, Knife Collector. And from my limited knowledge on that subject, I'm like, they sure are doing a lot of work to make this stuff. And I know they had computer parts laying around. I know they had other things laying around they could have used. But I was impressed that they made everything by hand. That was very impressive. Now, my knowledge on radio, not that great. Okay, matter of fact, novice at best. But I do know how to get a signal and change stations. But I thought that was remarkable. And I think you're right from that earlier comment you made when you said that you think they're trying to one up each other and show how smart they really are. I think in this episode you see how smart the engineers really are. Except for Vladimir, his invention of fireworks didn't work. Um, but as far as who can be the biggest and best inventor, I think right now. I think it's a toss up between John C. and Morgan, but hands down it goes to John C. Let me ask you guys this: okay, who is our MVP this week? Who is the MVP of the group this week? And I'm not even gonna throw names out. Y'all tell me who y'all think the MVP is. Go. I have to wonder if the producers taught them how to make a lot of this stuff before the show started. That's possible. It's very possible, Tara. The transmitter, okay, yep. Because the parts to make it all just happen to be there. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Who's our MVP this week? Y'all vote now. So, of course, normal people, we have Mike, Joey, who else? Leilani. I'm not even gonna mention Amy. Amy's nowhere to be found anytime. Got John C. Okay, who's voting? All right, so Tara says John C. because his contribution was most important, and everyone else messed up in some way. Hey, Emily, how you doing? So we got one for John C. All right, so the question on the floor is, who is our MVP of this week? Who is our MVP of this week? The girl, her name is Morgan. All right, so we got one for Morgan. Nice Collector says the girl who made the receiver. And honestly, I think the receiver was more important than the transmitter, to be honest with you. Okay. Out of those two bills, because getting in this situation, receiving information to me is far more important than giving out information. Do you guys agree with that or disagree? In this situation, 30 days into white sweet tomato seed. Okay, I'm good, Emily. Thank you for asking. They're good for you. I'm glad you were able to order some seeds. All right, in this situation, do you guys believe that transmitting out is more important, or do you think receiving information is more important? I think receiving. Okay. Or transmitting. I vote one for receiving. 3 nights ago, my neighbor called and said that an intruder had been in my backyard and he wouldn't leave, so he held him at gunpoint until the cops arrived. Richard, my neighbor, is definitely MVP for me. So we got one vote for Richard this week. I was talking about the show, but doggone Michaela, we gonna give MVP status to Richard all by himself. He's gonna get MVP in Corpus Christi, Texas, right now, all by himself. That guy had a warrant out on him, so he got arrested. He's going to jail. Good. Wow, that's amazing, Michelle, Michaela. Thank goodness you had a good neighbor. Yes, thank goodness you had a good neighbor. Good for you. So, all right. Anybody else want to vote on which is more important, the receiver or the transmitter? Okay, because I'm the only person that's voted so far. Let's see here. They got one. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Receiving in most cases, but in this case, they wanted to find George, so the transmitter was the most important for their specific person. I think so. You're voting transmitter, okay? In SHTF, you want to stay hid and discover what is going on outside. Any news is good news. Information is power. So Knife Collector is voting for receiver. And Tara says almost everything they did in this episode revolved finding George. I agree, and I think that's where they missed. I think that's where they missed like 3 or 4 days of production on things that they could have done. Because we find them at, for what I know, transmitter. All right, so we got 2 votes for transmitter, 1 vote for receiver. All right, so Michaela, just so you can understand, transmitter means that you're sending messages out. All right, and in a SHTF situation, do you want to be sending information, or do you want to be receiving information? Just so you can be more clear on what's going on, because they're trying to transmit out and find a member who has disappeared, who's been lost. So in this situation now, this is SHTF. The grid is down. 90% of the world's population is dead. Okay, you are a survivor. So the question is, in that case right there, do you think transmitting information out is more important, or do you think receiving information in is more important? So with that information, now cast your vote. Okay. All right. Cool. Bam. All right. So do y'all have anything else? So right now I have 3 different votes for MVP. I got 1 for Morgan, 1 for John C., and 1 for Richard. I'm not sure if I voted or not. I don't think I had an MVP this week. probably the fact that Allison and Mike worked together. That's my MVP. And Mike only had 1 blow up on this episode. I don't know. All right, so anybody else want to cast a vote? All right, let's see here. Okay. If they lost Amy, I'd say receiving hands down. But with George, transmitter, because he was integral to the group. Okay. If this was real life, a group, they should focus on the end game. If that is leaving, then you should put all the work in the truck and gather supplies. That ain't nice, collective. You be right in my head, bro. Mike lost George. More George, though. True. Transmitter, because without info going out on the other person can't receive. I'm going to tell you guys why. I'm going to say receiver or receiving. If you can pick up some radio waves, okay, doing an event like this, and you can get some information, okay? That's like Terrell said he was the anti-MVP for this episode because Mike left George, which is the biggest mistake of the week. I can see that. I can agree with that. In this situation, if you can get some information in, like, for example, the government may transmit on AM dial 780 and just have a repeating message. Hey, we've been attacked with a biological, weapon. From the news sources that we have, from the reports we have, we've lost 90% of the global population. During this event, make sure you stay sheltered. And there may be information that's going out, and there also may be information going out on where your next location could be. Okay, if you're sending out information, you're giving up your position. You're giving up the information that, right now, in my opinion, the colonists or the volunteers, they don't have a safe haven. It's kind of like, how many of you guys have seen I Am Legend? Every day, golly, what's his name? Anyway, the Will Smith. Every day he would transmit, and he said he'd be on the pier at 12 noon, and he could provide food, shelter, and security. Okay, he could provide those things. So he was looking for other survivors. In this case, they're looking for one survivor, and I feel like in this case, they are giving up too much of their position, and they are not focusing enough on security for one person. Okay, that's the way I feel. I might be wrong, but that's the way I feel. You guys know I have a military background, so that's where I am. All right, Cole. Let me see. Emily, did you vote already? Okay, so we got 3 people voting transmission and 2 receiving. Looks like me and Night Collect have been outvoted. But it's a good thing. So in this case, it's a good thing they're doing both. Good thing they're doing both. All right, so for the MVP this week, it is a toss up. One for Morgan, one for Joey. No, didn't nobody vote Joey. Okay, one for John C, one for Morgan, and one for Richard. So who's going to cast the deciding votes? I'm not going to vote MVP this week. I don't have an MVP this week. I think they were all stupid for losing George. Even though I think it was planned, I think it could have been prevented or much harder if they had just followed the rules. Okay. Um, in this case, I don't think you should ever lose a member. That's just me. I think they lost an asset too. Was it two for Morgan? Okay. Did I vote Morgan? Maybe I did vote Morgan. Okay. Because I thought the transmitter was more important than what John C had done. So we got one for John C, one for Richard, and two for. I think I did cast my vote for Morgan because I thought in this case, receiving was way more important than transmitting. All right, so just to recap, prior to him disappearing, we had one vote for George, one vote for Joey as the leader. As the scout of the group, if we was gonna have a scout, we got two votes for Vlad, one vote for Joey. As losing a valuable member like George was a big loss to the group. I agree. Um, but if you're gonna lose somebody, I'd rather it be George, Leilani, Amy. We could give Amy away. I mean, she made a fish basket, and that's been her biggest contribution to the group. Even Allison. I mean, those four people I could live without. The group could definitely make it without. Um, and the only reason really George was important to the group was because his morale, because of the morale factor. George didn't really contribute a whole bunch. I mean, he would help with bills, but he wasn't a major part of any bill. Now I did see him with a tool in his hand when he was building the. Oh, what did y'all think about the medical facility they built? That was nice. Did y'all notice they had paint and everything? I was like, everything is set up in this factory for them. They had paint. They had painted the room. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but they had painted the room. Terrell said they should trade Amy away for two fish and a can of corn. Oh my God. Wow. Terrell, that's kind of harsh. For two little fish and a can of corn. She is kind of non-productive. I mean, I think she had one speaking part in this episode, and that has been like 3 weeks of us not seeing Amy. Amy is like non-existent in this show. Out of everybody, Amy's like she could have stayed at home and nobody would even known that they didn't have 10 people. I think that's what happens every week. Y'all hold on a second. Right. All right. Looks like we still live, but did I lose everybody? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Are y'all still here, or did I lose y'all? I don't know what happened. This is crazy. Oh, y'all still here? Wow. Okay. Let's see here. Keep talking about here. They pull that weight. Be the weight laugh out loud. I think one thing with as much knowledge as I have, and it's hard. I'm willing to work. I'd be an asset to the group, and I wouldn't get traded away. y'all are on this trading away somebody. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's ask this question. Out of these people right here, George, and I guess I just like Leilani. Leilani, Amy, and what's the other girl name? Allison. Out of these four people, I'm gonna type them in. You got to get rid of three of them. Who's got to go? I never feel unprepared, but I'm always working on it. So am I. The medical room was good, but if they are leaving, it was a waste of effort. The truck could have been finished in a few days if they had put their efforts together. I agree with that too, Night Collector. I thought the medical room was a waste of time. I mean, putting that much time and energy into it. Y'all see that the intruder gave y'all a head nod. Yeah, I think she said keep George. Keep George, keep George, keep George. So, okay, now y'all do understand what you just did. I don't know if you realize what you just did, but you just got rid of all of the women in the group. And that was a trick question on my part. I just want to see what y'all are gonna say. You got rid of all the women in the group. All of them. Y'all see that? Look back. I said three of these people have got to go. George, Leilani, Amy, and Allison. Three of them got to go. And y'all chose all three women. Medical is important. True. Allison is in the medical profession. She's a emergency room nurse. Right? Y'all just got rid of all the women. So what did that say? They can't cook. The women have been useless from day one, except for a few things here and there. I don't see it that way. I'm a woman, but women cause the most problems in any group. Ooh, Tara, you said that? I say I can't say that. Me and Night Collector, we can't say that. We cannot say that at all. Wow, that's crazy. Well, Vlad can cook. You know what though? Y'all are right. Because out of the people in this cast, the most productive people are the men. The women should go gray man. Apparently, if they in y'all's group, they need to go gray man. Because y'all gonna put them out. Y'all gonna trade them for 2 fish. Let me see here. That's 6. Y'all gonna trade them for 6 fish and 3 cans of corn. 3 live bodies. Really? Y'all being serious right now? Y'all gonna trade 3 of these women for 6 fish and 3 cans of corn. I'm keeping Leilani. I like her. There's a difference between smart, productive women out there, but not in this group. Y'all are hard on these ladies in this group. Oh my gosh. I like me some Leilani. Okay. And out of all the ladies, I like Leilani the best. But out of those 4 that I chose, I'm gonna keep George. I will vote the same way. I gotta get rid of the 3 ladies. I'm not gonna trade them for 6 fish and 3 cans of corn though. I'm not gonna do that. I think Amy was kind of pretty. A can of beans as well. So for the 3 women, we're gonna get 6 fish, 3 cans of corn, and a can of beans. Is that what y'all saying? Oh my God, y'all are harsh. That is the funniest thing I've ever doggone heard too. Night Felix said, throw a can of beans, you can have them. Golly. I can't believe we sit here talking about sex, well, not sex trafficking, but trafficking, doing SHTF. that's what y'all that's what y'all just voted to do. Oh my goodness, have mercy. Do y'all understand what you just did? You just sentenced three people out of the group. Oh my god, that is too funny. All right, let me see here. I think nine collect. Oh, I think aim. Okay, in case three equals one, maybe. Oh, in this case, three equals one. Technically, Allison does nothing but whine and complain. So the traitor would bring her back. That's probably true. I didn't know she I don't know she I didn't know she was whining and complaining. All right, so golly, y'all are crazy. The women should go gray man. Okay. Just Amy, the others are worth at least a goat each. I didn't see that. I had to go to the other. Y'all are awful. Oh my goodness. Technically Allison doesn't do anything. Okay. So I'm caught up on chat now. Y'all are awful. Terry, you are a mess. Just Amy's. The others are worth at least a goat each. If the trader does, I'm keeping the beans. Y'all are too much. Oh my goodness. Y'all are too much. I don't know. I think Joe the trader would be happy to get the women. Shoot. I'm very sure of that. All right, guys. That's about all I got for today. I do want to talk about is Christina, are you still here? Allison is high maintenance and all about creature. She in that. That is true. That Tara, that's a true statement right there. Maybe charge a can to take her back. Y'all something else. She is high maintenance though. She is really a girl. She is definitely a girly girl. She has figured out how to make dresses out of whatever material she has found in the warehouse. So yeah, she's definitely a girly girl. But that doesn't make you worthless. Okay, golly, y'all, come on. And it don't mean you got to trade somebody for a can of beans and a goat. Okay, so out of the guys, out of the other six that are left, you got Joey, you got Mike, John B, John C, and Vladimir. Is that right? And you got somebody else. Who am I missing? Okay, Mike, John B, John C, Vladimir. Um, Dang, who am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm missing two people. I'm missing two somebodies. Uh, Mike, John C, Morgan. Oh, Morgan, Morgan. Oh, wow. We didn't put Morgan. So I'm sorry. There's one lady left, Morgan. So y'all think that Morgan is more valuable than Joe? Okay, let's put that to a vote. Who's more valuable to the group, Morgan or George? That's a good one right there. Let me see. Allison high maintenance. I mean, 90% of the world is dead. I guess she could make babies. Dang, I'm really getting harsh now. You are terror. All right, so who's the most valuable out of Morgan and George? Morgan and George. In fairness, Allison is a trauma nurse, so she could be valuable in some situations. They're all valuable in some situations. Everybody has value. Tara. All right, George, but Morgan is not invaluable. Really? You think George is more valuable than Morgan? I gotta disagree with you strongly on that one. Morgan helped build the gasifier. Morgan, it was something else Morgan did too. She was part of, and she just built the transmitter. I mean the receiver, and I think it's kind of cute too. Who do you think the most attractive woman is? Allison, Amy, Morgan, or Leilani? Who's the most attractive female in the group? I'm stretching now. I should have been keeping log of this. So y'all said out of the four, George, Amy, Allison, and who else? Leilani. keep George. And y'all did overwhelmingly. I mean, that was like overwhelming. Let me see. Most it would be her idea though. She helped George, but okay. Most of it was her idea though. She helped. All right. So you think Leilani, Night Collector, Kristen, nobody else wants to chime in on this. You guys leaving me and Terry right here all by ourselves. Okay. Nobody wants to vote. I think Leilani's cute too. Yeah, I think most attractive. If I had to choose most attractive, I mean, we talking about SHT. We talking about post-apocalyptic. Okay, most attractive post-apocalyptic. Yeah, I like Leilani. Definitely in the best shape. So Leilani gets 2 votes. Anybody else want to chime in on that? And then nobody else chimed in on who's the most valuable out of George and well, George is no longer there, but when George was there, who's most valuable, George or Morgan? And we only got 1 vote, and that was for George. I say Morgan, so we got 2 votes. More valuable. I'm writing all these down so I can bring these back later on. More valuable, George or Morgan? And we got 1 for George and 1 for Morgan. The most important to my survival is the prettiest. Well, Night Collector, who's the prettiest to you? Who do you think is the prettiest in this group? If a group I was voted on looks, I'd be the first to go. Tara, are you serious? That picture I see is gorgeous. You don't never show your face on your videos though. And whenever you get ready to do an interview with me on Monday night, let me know. So Knife Collector, who is the prettiest to you? I'm really curious in seeing this, seeing what you have to vote. I'm trying to think. If I'm in SHTF with these 4, I'm definitely gonna be pushing up on Leilani. Because I think she's a ride or die chick, and I think she gonna have your back. And if nothing else, she can fight. Allison, nah, she can fix your boo boos. Amy, she can fix a fishing basket. Morgan, she'd be my second choice, I think. If I keep one woman, it would be the nurse. Is that because of her skills or because she's pretty? See, you okay. Then we got Allison. Okay, so we got the 1. Nah, that's sorry. All right, so Allison, 1 vote. I would keep Leilani out of the women because she's strong and not a pushover. I like that. No, I don't know. I have never tried to look up any of these people to find out what they did after the show. I'm gonna do that live right now. I'm gonna see if I can't find Leilani. Be like, hey Leilani, we're fans of yours. Oh goodness, L.A. Oh, it's not L.E. Leilani from the colony. Okay, because medical is important. Oh, her name is Leilani Smith. Wait a minute. I know better than this. I had never, ever tried to find any of these people. Oh, that's definitely her. Leilani is an actress. Now I got to go and look up all these people. Oh, she's hot too. Oh my goodness. Let me show you this picture. That's her made up. Yeah, I like me some Leilani. Well. Okay, I'm just scrolling through some pictures right now just to see. Leilani Smith. I had never, ever tried to find any of these folks. Now, I'm going to have to go through and type in everybody's name and put in the colony and see. Oh, look at her. What y'all think? Yeah, going on. Well, she's definitely an actress, and they got the best show on TV. Okay, they had some picture. Well, that was a picture of the group from the colony. Here's a picture right here. Okay, from the group of the colony. Here's another picture of everybody from the colony. Okay. Now I gotta sit here and I gotta look up. Okay, so she is a martial artist. There's her in full garb. Oh wow, that was a picture of her posing. Mike wasn't active before the colony, really. She's been in a lot of movies since the colony. Okay, so you guys are much faster because y'all are able to do it on the on your. Wow, that's incredible. So her name is Leilani Smith. All right, let's see here. Let's look up. Who else y'all want to look up? So you said Mike was an actor too? Man, dadgummit, this is silly. Mike from Colony. Okay, I can't pull up. Okay, so when I type in Mike from the colony, I'm not getting anything. Are you getting anything? How'd you find out he was an actor before the colony? Layla is an actress now. She's been in a lot of movies since the colony. Mike was an actor before the colony. Oh my God, look at George. He's done a lot, including producer, director, writer, art developer. Oh, something's going on here. Okay, cool. You said George from the colony. I never even thought about doing this. I've never thought about doing this ever. I don't want a woman who can kick my butt when I tell her the fried grub worms were really bad. Like collector, that is some funny stuff. Oh my God. Go to IMBD for the show and click all their names. IMBD. I don't even know what IMBD. Is that a website? DB. The Colony. The Colony season 1. Bad. This is cool. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. No, this is showing me something else. It's showing me Colony, not the Colony. The trader was an actor. Andre was an actor. Okay, I am DB.com. Internet Movie Database. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, we went to go see a Rise of Skywalker the other night too. By the way, y'all, good movie. Good movie. If you guys do movies, good movie. Okay. Season 1. Oh gosh, I can't find it, Tara. Send me a link to it, please. Oh, you did. All right, so I'm gonna pull it up. Let me see here. Where are you? All right, so here we go. Right here, bam. All right, so let's see here. The full cast. Big Dumb Monkey. His name was Michael Raines. Wow. Okay. Okay, Michael Raines is known for his work in Boys Don't Cry, Beyond There, and The Colony. See his full bio. I really want to know about Joy. Let's see what's up with Joy. All right, the contractor. He is an actor known for The Colony. Is that it? That's all he's known for is The Colony? Okay, yeah, okay. cool. Let me go back to y'all's chats. Allison did a movie after The Colony. Okay. I can see her doing movies. What does she say? All this proves to me they told each person to act a certain way on the show. True. Kind of hate we did this. Takes the authenticity away. Not really. I mean, I think a lot of the scenes, especially when they got heated, I think a lot. I mean, it's like reality TV. Reality TV. They're gonna have you doing certain things, and then they get a reaction. They already know that. They know they're gonna get a reaction. Let's see here. Elizabeth, somebody. Who is this? Dang, it's a lot. Oh wow, the girl Liz who came in with what's her name? She's gorgeous. I didn't even realize she was pretty. Okay, she was in Twin Peaks in 2017. She lives in Los Angeles. She's really pretty. Okay. All right, let's see who else. I want to know about Vladimir. Let's see what about Vladimir. Vladimir Beck, known for his work in Woody Before Allen, The Colony. See his full bio. And just because they say these people are actors doesn't mean that they're successful actors. Everybody in LA is an actor. Everybody wants to be an actor in LA. All right, nothing really too much on Vladimir. Who else? Golly, it had a lot of people in this show. There were so many people. I didn't even realize it. Amy West. Let's see about Amy West. Her name is Amy West. That's it. Amy West is an actress known for The Colony. No, she's not. She's not known in anything because we never see her in The Colony. And that's all you got on her. She truly was a volunteer. Let me ask you guys this. I know I've asked before, but after watching The Colony and being involved and coming in every Saturday, how many of you guys would volunteer to go on something like go and do an experience like The Colony? How many of you guys would? I would. I'll tell you that for certain. I know I would for a fact. Yeah, hands down. George plays a doctor on something else after The Colony. Okay, cool. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so let me pull up George. Thank you, Tara, for bringing this to our group. He played in, what's it? Oh, 1,000 Ways to Die. That's a TV show. I know we should watch that. Yeah, 1,000 Ways to Die. Yep, they talk about how people have died in the past. Yeah, me and Jennifer used to watch that all the time. So maybe he might be a real doctor. Maybe, not real sure. Yeah, I can understand not being away from your husband. I wouldn't want to be away from my family either, but for the experience, I would love to. Yeah, I can see that. I can understand too. All right, let's see who else. Who else want? Oh, let me see Morgan. Where's Morgan? Morgan Hooker. Her name is Morgan Hooker. She's the aerospace engineer. Why they got her down as one episode? She played in all 10 episodes. Okay, so I guess she went back to her regular life. Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. This sucks." Who else? Marauder, narrator. Okay. Andre. Let's see if we can find out some information on Andre. Andre Johnson. Wow, he lost a bunch of weight since The Colony. He is. Oh my God, this dude is chiseled. He is so freaking cut. No, this can't be the same person. It can't be. No, this can't be the same person. Okay, so it's got Michael, Joey, John, Becca. I don't even know who Becca was. I don't remember Becca. That must be in season 2. Gotta be. George Willis. Okay, no. Who else? Traitor, Marauder, Biker, Survivor, Nomad. We haven't got to them yet. Blade, don't know him. Morgan Hooker, nope. Martial artist instructor. Amy. Let's see what Amy did after the colony. Nothing. That's all she ever did. She did the colony and she went back to water. Okay, cool. I would survival of them only say one episode. Andre has acted in a lot. When I first saw the colony, I watched several episodes back to back, but I increasingly stressed out after each episode after seeing how desperate and needy they were. Amy did nothing, just like this in the show. Terry, you are so mean. Michaela, so you watched the colony back in the day, huh? Okay, cool. Sweet ums. Well, guys, look. Right now, that's all I have as far as the colony is concerned. And I do want to talk really briefly and tell you guys this, okay? Listen, this is a family, okay? We're not going to always agree. We're not going to always be on the same sheet of music, okay? But remember, you have a platform that you can express yourself as long as you're respectful, okay? The moment that someone, it doesn't matter who it is, starts doing something like name calling or, and you can get upset all you want. You can get upset with me. You can get upset with the channel. You can get upset with YouTube. You can get upset all you want. But we only have two rules. The first one is when you come in and say hello, let us know what state and country you're viewing from and to be respectful. I don't think that's too much to ask. And if you see something on here that upsets you, you can call me out all you want. You can talk about me all you want. You can tell me how silly you think I am or whatever. I have thick skin. It's going to roll off just like a duck. Like I was telling y'all the other day, it's going to roll off. But the moment you start calling people in this family, in this group, on this channel, names, I take kind of offense to that, okay? So I wanted to bring this in because we had that to happen this week from a family member, and I didn't take down any of the comments. The comments are still up. I didn't take down any of my comments, my response. I did let the person and the individual know. I was like, hey, look, first and foremost, I start all of these talks and chats with, this is what I want to talk about, and this is what I want you to respond to. And if you get to the point where you're upset about the topic, it might be best for you not to respond or not to comment if you're emotional about a topic. I don't get emotional about these topics, okay? I just bring them to the group. And a lot of times when you guys tell me things that y'all want to see me discuss and we discuss together, a lot of times I bring those topics to the group. But if it is a heated discussion, that's why I tell you all the time, I don't like talking about politics and I don't want to talk about religion. And I talked about the impeachment this week. And one of our family members took that as a political topic and decided to call names, okay? Which, I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. I used to be that person. I'm so far past that silly stuff because politics, it's gonna be politics. And no matter if you upset me about it while you're upset, or if I don't get upset about it, guess what? It doesn't change anything because it's still politics. It's still gonna be political. Yeah, I think you're right, Night Collector. I think the next episode is going to be exciting. If anyone agreed on anything, nobody would ever learn anything. True, Terrell. At that time, I could not imagine being in SHTF situation at all and myself surviving. This show probably started my prepping mindset. Well, good for you, Michaela. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're here with us, and I'm glad you started prepping. That's amazing. So I said that to say this. If you're watching, the person who apparently got upset this week, I'm not upset. Not upset at all at you, and welcome you back with open arms, and want you back, and want you to be a contributing member like you were before. Nothing has changed on my end. However, if you're still upset about the things that you said, or if you're still upset about the things that you thought I was saying, or if you got upset about the way you think I believe, then remember, everyone is entitled to their own beliefs. Everyone is entitled to expressing themselves the way they choose. But if you took anything that I said personally this week, I'm apologizing to you. And I believe that some things were taken out of context that should not have been. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to address. If any of you guys saw it, y'all probably didn't. It was some comments said in one of the impeachment videos that totally shocked me, to be honest with you, and I responded, because anytime somebody sends me a comment that's like 3 or 4 paragraphs, I'm going to read it. I'm going to reread it. I'm going to reread it again. I'm going to have Jennifer read it, and then we're going to come together and we're going to make a statement. Because apparently it's that serious to whomever made those comments. It's just like Becky Scraps. Hopefully you come back to us and you're not offended, you're not upset. I don't know who was all on the other night, but Becky Scraps came in and she was like, I get tired of prepper channels talking about end of days and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, hopefully you don't feel that about this channel. But and then she sent me this really, really, really long comment, which was probably, if you break it down, it was like 4 or 5 paragraphs. And we read them and we responded. I haven't seen her since, but if you get so hot to the point where you're on this channel and you decide to leave and not come back, then I mean, gosh, we're doing something wrong, because we're the channel that says we make prepping fun. So apparently I'm doing something wrong if you're leaving and you're upset. So that's why I asked you guys doing the ride along yesterday. Like, what can I do to make the channel better? Because I don't want people leaving upset. I don't want you to be upset after you watch one of these videos and after you spend some time with this family. I don't want you to be pissed off to leave. I want you to come back and enjoy yourself and have a good time. And we talk about serious subjects, but don't take everything so serious. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. All right, let me see here. At the time, I could not. Okay, I've been interested in prepping since 9/11, but I didn't do much about it until I heard about the food shortages this year, and then I was like, "What the heck have I been waiting for?" Really, Tara? Wow, I didn't know that. I know earlier on, when you used to come in on your other channel. I think it was like Terra Art, something like that. I know when you first came in on that channel, you was like, I think I'm gonna start a channel. So we have watched you start a channel, which is amazing. You have a wonderful channel. But I didn't know you really started getting serious about prepping recently. I didn't know that. So that's beautiful. Good for you. So let me see here. You don't prep for good times. That should be common sense. Well, that's true, Night Collector. And hopefully the family members who have gotten upset and who have left, hopefully they'll come back home. I just want to put it out there and make it open and honest statement to you if you're watching. I'm not upset with you. We all are human. We all have emotions. I just try to keep mine under wraps, because as we have found in this episode, when you make emotional decisions, you usually make the wrong one. And even if you make the right decision and you do it emotionally, you usually make a bad decision while you're making the right decision. It's just, I try to keep all my emotions out of decisions I'm making. So thank you guys so much for being here. And this is not water I normally drink. Just so you guys know. And I don't like promoting any companies. I saw my little vest on early, and it was promoting a name up here, and I was like, oh, I gotta take that off, because we don't have any We don't have any partners who are paying us right now to advertise any of their products. Okay. Oh dear, I just saw the comments. I mean, and I'm not going to take them down. I am not going to take them down at all. And from what you saw, Tara, and I know Tara usually makes all of the lives. And I wanted to come to the family and talk to you guys about it because I felt some kind of way because I really try to express my monologues and my drive-alongs and everything about things that are going on and really not my personal opinions unless I just think it's ludicrous that Congress is wasting money on stuff, which they're going to do anyway. And I wasn't trying to speak for or against what was going on. I was speaking on the impeachment itself. So from watching the lives, Tara, and then from reading the comments, do you think it was anything that I said that justified the comments? Okay, I see both sides of it. I completely understand how the other party feels and completely agree with how you handled it. Okay, that's all I'm looking for because I was just trying to I'm going to be honest with you guys. I saw the impeachment and I saw a lot of folks doing it. As a matter of fact, I got the idea. And I usually tell you guys where I get ideas from. Tara not Tara, but Christina did a video the night before. I watched her video. I was like, I really want to stay away from this impeachment stuff, but it was such a hot topic. And I kept seeing Paul doing it over at All Grid Desert Farm and Paul and Aiden. And I was like, man, I got to take advantage of some of this so I can get some of these views. So I try to be as neutral. I try to be as neutral as I can with stuff without getting you guys emotional. But it is what it is. So again, person who got offended or upset, I apologize. That was not my intention. I was not trying to upset you at all. So hopefully you come back home. You're still welcome. You're welcome here. And I'm not going to ever call, names. But I didn't, I don't know. It is what it is. Can't make everybody happy all the time. I am so behind. I am so behind on when I come over here and look at you guys on the monitoring channel. It is so behind. Tara said, I completely understand both how the other party feels. Yeah, and I understand how the other party feels too. I just choose not to get emotionally involved like that in politics anymore. I just can't do it. Even when things come down from the higher ups that affect us in our household, I still don't get emotional. I'm like, oh my God, that sucks. We got to pay more taxes this year, but it is what it is. You got to pay them. Okay. If you lose your health care, you got to find some more. If you lose your food stamps, you got to get some more. I mean, I don't know. I guess because Jennifer and I, we just figure it out, or we figure out a way to figure it out. I don't know. I just really don't depend on a whole bunch of stuff. I got a couple of harsh comments on my video about removing people from. Yeah, I saw those comments. I didn't even. You notice I didn't even say anything, and I watched that video, but I didn't even respond. I didn't even do a comment on that one. And you did in the very beginning. You said that. You said it. You said it. You wasn't making a statement either way. I heard you say that. People said they disagree with me, even though I said I wasn't trying to, give them my viewpoint. Yeah, but just what might crop up as a result. I heard you say that, and when you said that, I thought about the way I say things too, and I was like, hey, look, regardless of what's, and I said it just like this, regardless, guys, of what side of the fence you're on, I want to get your point on this particular activity that's happening. That was all. But that was okay because they're free to have their opinions, and I'm fine with that. That's cool, and that's the way I feel too. I just don't want people to make their opinion or make their statements and then leave. If we were good enough to be part of your family and be there before this, why are we not good enough to be to be part of your family? You be part of our family afterwards. We're still the same people. Nothing's changed. I just didn't appreciate what the people said about the people who follow this channel. That's all. That's the only offense I took toward it, and I'm done with it. And if that's the way you feel, then that's the way you feel. And I'll be the first to admit, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry I upset you, because that's what it seems like happened. Upset. So anyway, guys, with that, we're gonna get out of here. We've been on like 2 hours, and I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Hopefully later on, Jennifer and I'll be in at 5:05. I know next week. Listen, next week is going to be absolute crazy. I don't know what the schedule is going to be next week because Jennifer and I will be traveling. This is the first time we're going to be doing this. I'm going to take my laptop with me, but we will do lives and we will do streams and we'll do posts when we can. I'm not sure how everything is going to work out. Okay, but just keep us in your thoughts, keep us in your prayers, because we will be traveling. We're traveling all over the country. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm nervous as the dickens because this is getting me out of my comfort zone and getting me out of what I normally do. So anyway, see you guys. I personally didn't take offense to what the other party said because I agree with the party on that one issue. However, it was harsh way to put it. Definitely emotional. Yeah, I mean, I agree in some aspect on what they're saying. I just didn't appreciate the way they said it, you know. And you can and this is for anybody. You guys can attack me all you want. You can call me all kind of names that you want, but don't call anybody that subscribes or follows this channel anything other than a wonderful human being. I've been up all night, so it's bedtime. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Knife Collector, for being here. I appreciate you, my brother. And we'll see you guys a little later. Okay, we getting out of here. We'll talk about this stuff later. All right. Y'all be blessed. Take care.